it's okay to not do something. That's mental health. And I didn't have good mental health for 20 of my 23 years, or 19 of the year, which is like, you're allowed to do nothing. That's something you actually have to, like, if you come up in kitchens like I did, and probably you did too, on a day off, it's okay to be like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting. It's okay to not accomplish anything. You don't have to accomplish something. Not doing anything and recharging, that is. And too many chefs of like my generation took too long.
Right.
And then a lot when you're younger,
You got to plan your fun.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. I feel like on my days off, I never did anything because I never planned anything.
Yeah. You have to plan things.
So it's like, if you by the time, if you're a cook and it's your day off, say you work 6 days a week, if you don't leave the house by noon, you're not leaving.
No.
And then you're going to sleep all day and you're going to go out when it's nighttime to the bar, probably like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks ago. We had so many events happening at Sobre. Everyone was getting burnt out from front to back. Like, not from bad things, just from, it was like nonstop. We had buyouts, then we had big parties, then we had big happy hour things hosted by different liquor companies, stuff like that. So it was just like every day was for like 2.5-3 weeks straight. It's a lot. It's draining. And then I went over to my best friend's house after my last shift. We drank way too much. She had a rough day. I kind of had like we both had like rough months, from like work stuff, and it was like we just drank all night long, like 3:30 in the morning. Like, I thought, I can't. I have to go home. It's like, I need to go to bed. I went home, and the next day, I woke up at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, this is rolled out of bed, moved to the couch, and I played video games for like 4 hours. And it was a moment like we didn't say, I'm not doing anything. I don't plan on leaving. If you want to come over, can, but I'm not doing.
Right.
I've been doing things nonstop. I want to do nothing. This is what I'm doing all day. I'm going to watch TV.
There you go.
I'm going to play video games. I'm going to maybe drink a couple beers. Might not even do that. I might just be healthy and drink water all day long.
Whatever I want to do.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing, though. The nothing is the big part, where my body is doing nothing. And it's like, there's a lot of young cooks, who are like trying to put the same thing, like, have to stop.
Yeah.
Have to have a day of just like, stop.
Rest day. It's just the social media, man. Just like, you got people out there being like, you don't fuck it out there, fuck it. So
it's all fake when you realize it. Like Gary V, you gotta produce 22 pieces of media a day. You have 40 people on your staff. I'm one guy. She's one girl. They're one them. Like, we don't have 40 people making like recording you.
Right.
And then editing it, color correcting, sound correcting, and then putting on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever all the other 400 social media are. Like, I have to do this myself.
There used to be just like, there was always just one social media platform.
Yeah.
Like MySpace, Facebook. Now it's like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So many of them.
When Twitter and Instagram started, that's where like the social media started.
Right.
And it was like, we have that social media. And there's a plus and minus to all of it. I get a lot of great ideas.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my friends,
Honestly, I think chefs use it best. Chefs use it way better than anybody else I've seen in any other industry.
It's
share knowledge, dishes, ideas,
plating,
hiring, ingredients.
I actually got a job at Fifth Floor because of a mutual friend of the chef there, David Bazigan, who's off in Boston just doing his thing now, like running an empire. But our friend Matt Jennings,
Okay.
he was like,
You know Matt Jennings?
yeah,
No way. I
Um,
knew him when he had Farmstead Cheese in
oh, yeah,
Rhode Island.
a while ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked with his friend Jake Rojas.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
who used to own Tallulah's. Now he owns Tallulah's Tacos over there. And now homie's at the Townsman. Is he at the Townsman still? Did he close that? That was like his newest thing that he did.
Yeah,
That was years ago though.
yeah. I think he closed that down. I think, and then I know he moved to Vermont
Right.
on a farm
Right.
just to get away from it all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he talking about like someone who completely changed their whole life, like running marathons and
Oh,
healthy
yeah,
and biking, and
It's the gastric, baby.
he
You got to do it.
had to.
If
You
you
know?
do it right, it works.
He did it, and I like it's amazing because he was all like he hasn't changed though.
No.
He's still the same guy.
That-
He's just like 200 pounds lighter.
Right.
You know, healthy. And like every time I see some Instagram thing is like he's biking or running or
Yeah.
hiking or something, you know, with the kids and the
He
dogs.
was not
and
going to make it if he didn't make a change.
No. I was thinking that actually that's a big thing. That
motherfucker, man.
big thing that's changed for the positive in our industry is like it used to be don't trust a skinny chef,
Right.
and now it's like you're gonna die.
Right.
You're literally going to die if you don't change your ways. You know, I was working out 5 days a week. I got into a car wreck, messed up my neck. Was out for like a year and a half. I could only do cardio, which is like, terrible. And then pandemic happened. So it was like basically 4 years of no working out, and I'm
Right.
just now getting back into it.
It's all good, man.
And it's like it's one of those things like I tell young and old chefs, I'm like, do yoga.
Mhm.
Like, really? I'm like, yes, you need
Yeah.
limberness. You're on
Yeah.
your
And ice down
oh yeah.
after your shift.
Oh, Epsom bath?
Yeah.
Oh. Pour yourself a nice little cocktail or an ice cold beer, extra hot bath, Epsom salt,
Yeah.
soak until the water starts to get like lukewarm. Then you shower off and you feel amazing.
I'm telling you, I think that most young cooks, when you're like in it, going all crazy, the only reason you survive is like your whatever girlfriend you have at that time. It's like the only one who's piecing your life together.
Yes.
You know, like like hopefully she comes from a good family because that's about the equivalent of the love you're gonna get. But goddamn, man,
Yeah.
like so many.
Did
times.
you eat today?
Yeah. Did you eat today? Did you like? It's shit that you don't think about.
Yeah, I had 4 pieces of bacon, a piece of bread,
Yeah, and 2 beers. I'm
and a
good.
beer, and I ate some snap peas off my station at one point.
Yeah,
You know,
right? Yeah.
I'm making salads in my mouth on my
Yeah.
station because I don't have time to stop and eat.
I put salt in my mouth because I forgot to salt my.
Yeah, it's been squirting hot sauce directly into my mouth.
That's a good thing to do on the line.
Oh yeah,
Make yourself a dish.
the crouch.
Cheese.
Oh yeah, the line cook meal of grabbing a piece of cheese, putting some kind of protein in between it, folding it in half, and shoving it in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have some bread on your station if you're lucky.
Maybe. Yeah.
Person with the bread, they're always the lucky one. Like they can make sandwiches,
It's just
they're
that is true.
little pieces, they're like sandwiches like this big.
Although you make a sandwich and everybody else can be like, "Oh yeah, you got fucking time to make a sandwich?"
Yo,
Like,
yeah,
what the
every time.
fuck?
My sous chef the other day, he was like, hey, he's like, what do you do with eggs? He's like, oh, I was gonna make some eggs. He's like, can I get some eggs? He goes, yeah. And he forgot to make the eggs. And like an hour later, I'm like, where the fuck are my eggs? He's like, forgot about them. Like, God damn it, you said you were gonna make eggs. I'm really upset right now. You said you were gonna make eggs, and I didn't care how the eggs were coming to me, but you said you were making eggs, and you didn't give me eggs. Damn. And he's like, I know. I was like, now I'm thinking like, I didn't get eggs. I was gonna make eggs, and I really want eggs, and I forgot about it because we got busy.
You always forget to eat when you're busy.
Yeah, and then also you're like, and that's another thing, eating late, not good for you.
Yeah. No.
I've been really good about it. Like eating at 1 a.m. is just not healthy for you. Also, you can't sleep well.
Right.
Not good for digestion. Like there's all these like whole body
Right.
things that are not good for you. Like I started like I gotta eat. If I can't eat, I'm like if I'm too busy, I'm like I have protein shakes, just something, some kind of nutrition in my
I
body.
feel like at a restaurant too, like you can't really expect to give someone staff meal at 5.
No.
And then just be good all night.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, that's it's
No. And you can't like stop and like as a business feed people for another 30 minutes at the end of the shift. Like you just can't do it.
No.
So
When I was working at one restaurant in the city, it closed down right in the 2008 housing market.
okay.
Like when that whole like thing went like completely bust. They brought us all in like, hey, so we're gonna be closing like 3 to 6 months. Okay, we don't want to, throw this at you like last minute. We want to make sure that you guys are all good. Thank you for actually thinking about the staff.
Right.
Like, but we've made a profit on the restaurant, but we're seeing housing. We're hearing things about the housing bubble and all this. But like, we won't make it if that happens. So we're like, we have no losses. We're in the green. So you need help finding jobs, all this stuff. And that place though, like we're running regularly. Every single day at 4 o'clock. We all come in at like noon to 1, depending on like what station you're on. At 4 o'clock every day, staff meal. Everyone would just sit down. It was also our lineup meeting. So
sometimes I think like who makes these rules?
Yeah. So but no one cares. It's one of those things where it's like, well, I'm not working on my break. It's like we're feeding you for free. You can listen to us talk for 10 minutes. It's okay.
Right.
And we'd all sit down. The whole staff too, kitchen, front of the house, everyone would all sit down. We'd be like, tonight we have, start with the host. What do we have? And it's like, oh, we have 150 chefs. Oh, here are the new dishes. We're actually trying 2 of them. Also, we'd use that as like, these are new dishes. And it was great. I love that. But then, of course, at the end of the night, it's like, just worked hours. And now I'm going. I had my meal at 4 p.m. and it's now 1 a.m.
I feel like normal people would be sleeping, but
yes, yeah,
also would eaten again at 8.
Yeah, like a snack at least, like something. Whatever. Hopefully, you have something on your station you can snack on.
Yeah, it's so funny. That training is so good that makes you just like ask for nothing.
Nothing.
You ask, and when you eat in the walk-in, you eat like a fucking rat. Like, no one look at me.
Yeah, no. The on the picture that went viral, like right in the beginning of the pandemic, enclosures that showed like the chefs sitting down on milk crates.
Yeah,
and people are kind of like, I can't believe chefs have to eat like this. Like, don't you disrespect my throne?
Yeah, exactly.
Like every line cook will tell you the milk crate with a towel draped over it is like a throne.
Yeah, damn
if you,
right
if you have that to sit on out back, that's amazing.
Yeah, because most people don't have anything to sit on out back.
No,
they got to bend down like a goddamn catcher.
Yeah, or I love that though. That's the eating move. Mid shift, you're like, like shoveling food in your mouth as fast as you can, then popping up and hoping that no one sees you chew. So you're just like facing away from the crowd for a while. Yeah. If it's an open kitchen, that's so bad.
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, table 8.
Some of your saliva falls in the saute pan. Like
that's
don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's like pasta. You cook some pasta.
Yeah. There was actually an event that I did down in Long Beach, and the dishwasher was making himself soup while I was like putting together 150 plates. He just moves the shit out of the way and starts making soup.
I love that.
And when you're in somebody else's kitchen, you're like, all right, I guess Diego's making soup. Just like, throw some on for me, man. Like,
dishwasher is like top of the totem pole.
It's his house.
Yeah, no, you don't. Even if you're the boss, it's still he or she is like they
own the shit.
Yeah, because
always,
if without them, you can be without a bartender for a night. You can throw someone back there and pour a glass of wine and beers, shots, no problem. Dishwasher, no, you're going down.
Yeah,
they are the most like I've had so many conversations with like. It's always front of the house. Like back of the house, sees it every day. Front of the house, be like, oh, they get to eat that. It's like, you want to switch jobs and paychecks for a day?
Yeah.
You want to come back to this goddamn swamp?
Yeah.
For the 10 hours?
You want to clear saliva off plates?
Yeah. You want to scrape. You want when someone pukes, you know who cleans it up, right?
Yeah,
Him.
exactly.
When a toilet's clogged, you know who fixes it? Him.
Yeah,
Like, and yeah, you're like, oh, we're super busy. Yeah, all 700 plates, he just walked
exactly.
and didn't complain once.
Right.
Blasted his music.
And doesn't get tipped out most times.
Most of the times, yeah. Most times not. But never complains. Like, in my career, I've had maybe 4 or 5 dishwashers, like, seriously, like, complain.
Right.
And most of the time, it's like, yeah, that's a fair complaint.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, we shouldn't be throwing hot dishes over where there's no water.
No,
You're burning yourself.
It's always the same. It's
You're right.
the number one complaint. Chef, they need to, like, scrape the plates.
Yeah.
Like that. And that's...
It's always complaints for the greater good of the place.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with, like, with actually, like, his, like, life, like, well, like, it's not money, or it's not
personal,
shit.
yeah.
No, it's just, like, the
It's
front of the house needs to scrape the plates because it's clogging the dishwasher.
Yeah. Like, oh, thanks for caring.
Yeah, not even about how this is, like, disrespectful to you. You're literally like, and that's how I always phrase those when I talk to the front of the house, where, like, pull your labels off, scrape your plates. It's not that hard.
Right.
Like, it's disrespectful to the dishwasher who's working way harder than anyone else in this. I think that also comes from the young, like, kind of pedigree that some chefs have of those the small important,
yeah,
that aren't small, but some people it's like nothing. That they're not. It's not that important.
Yeah. You need all these people are part.
Yeah.
You know, even like the fucking back waiter who like,
oh yeah, who's just polishing?
You need him.
I've worked in this place, like you probably worked in this place too, where you have someone who all they do is take racks of glasses
And buff.
and you're just
Yeah.
buff. And that person, if that person goes down, you don't have a glass to pour your $50 glass or whatever, you know, anything like that's all they do.
You could have a beautiful bar, most beautiful bottles. If you don't have the fucking glasses poured in,
no. Or when you're paying that premium price and you get that glass and you're like, soap scum, lip or lipstick. You know, that's we actually with because it's, you know, front of the house is, you know, almost a lot of places predominantly women,
right?
You know, a lot of like servers, and that kind of seems like they get drawn to that, or that's what people hire,
right?
You know, even they like, I love it when like we've gone to a point where like they're happy about like, and people are happy in general about like, oh, lipstick that doesn't smudge, or it's like it's waterproof. Yeah, until it gets on us, until like our glassware and you can't get it off.
Right.
And then this conversation happened a couple weeks ago with my friend of the house. We're like, it's like, we have so much lipstick on all of these glasses. We had to keep on like putting them through like really buffing the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Because of whatever oil based, like, you know,
Neutrogena.
Yeah, whatever lipstick with it was, whatever the hot trend is, like,
right.
Oh, it doesn't smudge, doesn't come off. Like
we don't test it on animals. It's like, well, maybe you should, because it's
like test it on glass. How would you test it on glassware?
So Aqua,
yeah,
you're there. Why'd you leave?
It's got to a point where like I wasn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
You know,
learn everything you had to learn.
I wasn't going to learn more. I wasn't going to get paid more. I wasn't going to get to a different station because people, like, there were people who worked at Aqua for 10, 15. And then a lot of them went over and were the chefs at like Mina Steak and whatnot, like years later. There was no, kind of thought about this early in my career. You can't offer knowledge, number one. Money, a position, or money. Like a title, like give me more knowledge, feed me. Give me a title, or give me more money. One of those three. Preferably all of them. And if you can't give me one of those, I'm like, I gotta go. You know, there's nothing more for me. Right. So, you know, I have my resume looks smaller than it actually is because I've worked at places for a year. You know, 2 years, like that was kind of like a year to 2 years for a lot of places, like first 10 years of my career, because it was, what can you teach me? And sometimes it wasn't in the kitchen. Sometimes it's about business. How do you make the deals? how do you get the better pricing on the fryer oil, shit like that. You know, what's the better fryer oil to use? You know, those and so I just kept on kind of popping around. But after Aqua, which at this point they all the together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after that, actually, that's where I went to the city. I was working in the city at Frise.
Okay.
It was a small place. I was working there, and then I was also doing brunch at another spot once a week.
Got it.
It was a great place. The two brothers owned it. I think they own food trucks now.
Mm-hmm.
Up down in South Bay,
Right.
where there aren't a lot of food. They used to not be a lot of food trucks, so they kind of performed the market early before the food truck trend.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for almost 2 years. Great place to work. Then I came back to Oakland. I worked in Mesa for about 2 years, which is over on Lake Merritt.
Okay. Still there.
Now, sadly, it shut down at Shakewell now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Mediterranean, Egyptian kind of. It was weird
when you were there.
It was weird to be like, we're Mediterranean.
Oh, Persian food.
Oh yeah, but we're also doing like some hardcore, like really like niche Egyptian food, but then also doing some like Moroccan food, and then also we're doing pizzas, and then we have a scallop dish with what the hell is it? Braised pickled chard. Like that's who are we? What are
Right.
we? Like what?
Yeah.
That was my question for 2 years. Like, what are we?
What is that?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, are we doing? Well, that was a lot of our Yelp review because Yelp had just become a thing. What, like, the menu's kind of eclectic. It's kind of fun, but I don't really know what kind of cuisine they are.
Right.
And it's like, well, we're Mediterranean, Egyptian, Moroccan. It's like, that. All of those are different. Like those are you said three individual things. Like Moroccan and Egyptian food do have a lot of similarities.
Right. That was just ahead of its time. Because now it's like, Mexican, Jewish, French.
Yeah. Now I just do everything. We used to call that, was it international?
Yeah, exactly.
International, you could throw.
Fusion.
Feel.
Now, everything's fair game. Nothing is fusion. You can do whatever you want.
Do whatever the hell you want.
Thank God for the pandemic.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little. Well, pandemic got rid of restaurants, some good restaurants.
Right.
And then got rid of way more bad restaurants than good restaurants.
Yes, it did.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Of course, I have friends who lost their jobs because of restaurant closures of good restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all back to working at good restaurants again.
Right.
But bad restaurants shut down, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Totally okay.
We needed to level the playing field.
Yeah. Shit, when you saw like McDonald's shutting down, you're like, oh, this is hitting everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Fast food is the true marker.
Yeah, if fast food starts shutting down, it's like, oh,
yeah,
something's wrong.
Well, it used to be that fast food, they were always hiring. I feel like they've always just been hiring.
Always hiring.
For the last 30 years, there's always a hiring sign in front of the fast food place.
Everywhere. In the drive-thru, we're hiring.
Yeah.
Literally.
They'll give you an application right out the fucking shot.
Right there, yeah. It's... Meanwhile, we didn't have a line cook. It was almost get like a line cook.
Yeah.
It would work. But at the same time, it's always like that for restaurants.
I think we need to bring back job applications. Like, I don't need your resume. I don't need to write me an essay.
Yeah.
Like, I want to ask you weird shit. Are you going to finish it? Are you going to answer it?
Yeah. Yeah. There was Encanto did that. They had a questionnaire where it'd be like, what's your favorite cookbook?
Right.
Favorite celebrity chef. Your favorite meal that your grandma cooked. Like shit like just like really weird.
That's legit.
Really deep. Like in the end, when you read it, you learn something about something.
Mm-hmm.
You also learned that a lot of people have no grammar or can spell.
Yeah.
You know,
or not passionate enough to talk about the things
or
they
no,
love.
yeah, when they're not, that's a big thing.
Like my grandma cooked macaroni.
That's it.
The fuck do you mean?
So my grandma, but why was it special?
Exactly.
You know, and it doesn't have. And people like there's so many like cooks would be like, you can tell they're lying.
Right. Some people have some bum ass grandmas out there. You know, it's fine. Not every grandma knows how to cook.
No.
You know?
No. But it was, you know, the real ones versus you're making this shit up.
Right.
I know you're making this. Unless you lived in the south of France, you know, like
when I woke up every morning on the farm,
exactly shit like that. But then there was one kid I hired because it was like, what's your favorite meal your mother or grandmother? And he was like, oh, well, my grandmother's Costa Rican, so she would cook us it's like my favorite meal that she'd cook is cilantro rice and black beans, tostones maduros. It's like, and then a little bit of sofrito on top. And I was like, that's what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear that your grandmother went out and hunted a duck and then cooked you foie and made a terrine, made all this fancy shit. No, I wanted you to say, my grandmother made the best peanut butter jelly sandwiches ever because she used this jam from this one place.
Right.
And it was the jam that I grew up with. And then, you know, she got this bread from a bakery and then she would toast it perfectly with like butter. We would sit down, we'd eat with milk. Like that tells me more about you than, oh, you ate fancy, you ate expensive.
Right.
And also, if you're a chef, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, like that's premium. That's
fine dining.
That is, yes.
Give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Get home, especially perfect meal.
Very good meal.
It's filling. You have protein, you got fat, you know. It's easy to walk around with.
Very
kind of depends on how much jam you put in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you what's your method? I do peanut butter on both sides, jelly only on one.
See, I put peanut butter on one side, jelly on the other. Yeah. It is a thick layer of peanut butter though. It's like a little too much on one side.
Okay. You get a little pregnant because of the jelly.
Yeah, it gets the center's always a little fat. Yeah. But then and this is how I look back like I do this because of working in restaurants. Is I'll smash. I'm like sitting at home and I do this automatically. Is I'll smash the corners so nothing can fucking fall out of it. And you've done this too. I know probably you've had a significant other be like, sit down.
Yeah.
You're in the kitchen just like, oh.
Yeah.
At home eating on your feet. It's like, you know, you can sit down, right? My roommate will let me sit there for like 3-4 minutes. Like, you know, you're home, right? I'm like, right?
Yeah.
She goes, I have a couch.
Yeah.
I can sit down and eat.
Something I'll do after work is not take off any of my shit. Like jacket on, everything's on. You're like cooking eggs.
Yeah.
Like just relax for a second.
Yeah. At least the apron came off at some point.
Yeah.
No, there was a couple times where I was down so many people and I was all hours that I would go home. I would get in my car with my apron, like forget I had it on,
right,
and get home, be like, I'm like, Jack, I didn't take shit off. Like, fuck, my shoes are shit like that. I'm just like, that's
yeah. So at this point in your career, have you had a sous chef position?
Yeah. I was going into. So they gave me a position for brunch when I started running it, which as they gave me I was a sous chef there, but they gave me a position of like I was in charge of brunch chef.
Right.
But as a sous chef I was a sous chef at Frise like right at the end, they gave me a promotion and the restaurant shut down. And then kind of popped around other places where they weren't at that. I got kind of tired of fine dining for get old, kind of over it. I need a break. I just want to flip some burgers, make some nice sandwiches, you know. And so I didn't really have another position, like a real position other than like lead line cook for a few more years. And then I was sous chef, and then after that, it was like I was resume. Or honestly, my resume hasn't been updated in like 6 years. Like really updated. There's new things on it, but it's not really
Right.
accurate of like
Telling
dates.
the story. Yeah.
No, it's just so I don't forget that I worked the place. But the past like 10 years, it's been, hey, who's hiring? Are you hiring? Do you need help? Call up whatever friend I had that worked the place. Like, do you need help? And it's 50-50 of like, yeah, actually, I do need some. And I end up working a bunch of different places and just helping out here and there. I worked at Pecan and Ozumo when they were both open.
Okay.
Those were, those were fun. I learned a lot of both those. Pecan, I learned how not to treat your staff. And then at Ozumo, I learned a lot about Japanese cuisine. It was good to be like having those ingredients because I had never touched them before. Eaten them. Being in the Bay Area, we have tons of good Japanese restaurants. I never really got to like really play with them. We had two great chefs who were like, yeah, what do you want to do? I'm like, would these two flavors work? It's like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. They were totally like about playing with it and giving us kind of free reign on certain things. Like, hey, we have extra chicken skin. I was thinking like, we did a chicken skin. We were positioning more piece of chicken skin. Pulled it all out, boiled it all, dehydrated it. And I was like, I want to do chicharrones, but with chicken skin. We did a house-made furikake and some Sancho peppercorns on it and hot mustard. But it was just like, that's chicharrones. If made those in the pork skin, you had pork skin instead of chicken skin. That's a pork rind.
Right.
So we got to play a lot with that.
Okay.
It was fun having those chefs who were like actually down to play with food. Which is something I think that a lot of chefs forget at one point. Like, what we do is actually kind of fun. Like, we literally play with food.
Yeah.
And feed people. It's not that hard. It can be. It's a hard job, but it's not. It's not hard if you don't make it hard.
Yeah. It's only hard if you like think it's hard. It's like if you embrace the suck, it can be rewarding all the time.
Yes.
I think embracing the suck is the hardest part of it, and usually the better teams help you with that.
Yeah,
more so than others.
Absolutely. There's definitely you fall into it sometimes if you're just like, this sucks. Like you do. Like if you don't, are you really doing it right?
Yeah.
Are you really caring? If you're not like, this sucks right now.
It's restaurant work. We have to be honest with ourselves and say nobody wakes up in the morning except for us and says, "I'll have to go do that."
Well, it's also like I love when I get made fun of by my 9 to 5 friends. Who are like, what time do you wake up? I'm like, that's so late. I'm like, it's like about normal.
Yeah, but like what time do you go to bed?
Yeah, you were in bed at 9.
Yeah,
lights out at 10.
I was in bed at 3.
Yeah, I'm still getting as much, or I'm still getting less sleep than you usually.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting a full fucking day rest, go sit in your chair. I'm getting like 4.5 to 5 hours to stand on my feet for 10, 12, 15 hours. And if there's like an event, like you have to be on site, that's like a 17-hour day.
You think the 9 to 5ers will get it right now?
One thing I do love about social media is people are starting to understand more about us and like what we actually do. There's still like a lot of ignorance about our lives, but it's getting better slowly. Also education is getting better with people are learning more about foods. You have to answer. You can put things in menus now.
Yeah. Very true.
You can call them by their real names because they saw it on Food Network, Top Chef, Iron Chef, all that. So you can say confit of something. I remember the years when you had to put confit of anything on a menu, like, what's confit?
Right.
They had no clue. Like, we're in America. They have no idea what it is. So you just had to be like, braised duck legs.
We cooked them in fat.
Yeah. Or sous vide.
Oh, you fried them?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you fried? No.
No. It's this thing where you... Never mind.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
good.
Yeah, there's those things. It's kind of funny to like
no
think
one
back.
gives a shit about what we give a fuck about. Like,
No.
sometimes we get so gay about it. Where it's,
There are those moments where looking at it and looking at the things that I care about, and then when no one else cares about it around me, there are days I get rationally angry,
yeah,
and there's no reason for me to be angry
no,
because they're not they aren't loving something how I love and how they should be loving. Like you should love it as much as I do.
right,
You're doing this. You're doing this right. You should love it.
Yeah.
No, it's okay that they don't love as much. It's fine.
it's like you can ruin music for people that way, or
Yeah.
movies.
Mhm.
Because I started doing this thing where I like watch movies and then I'm like looking at the person that I'm watching it with, like, did they think that was funny?
Oh yeah.
Did they catch that little thing that I catch and nobody else
there-
catches?
I have to like mentally like don't do that.
Yeah.
And even with food, like if I go out to eat, like I love this about like non they think we're super picky when we go out to eat.
Yeah.
Like, honey, I ate Jack in the Box at 3 a.m. standing over my own trash can more times than I can count. Okay, I've eaten half my meal driving up home.
Right.
Sober. Not even like, oh, I'm stoned, so I need to eat fries right now. This is like, I haven't eaten in 14 hours. I need something in my body. So I'm like eating a burger while driving.
And I need to go to bed like the efficient.
And I need to
You're
go to
cooked.
sleep very soon because I have like 9 hours before I have to be back at work.
Right.
Not awake, back at work.
Right.
There's those little things where like people don't see it.
No.
They don't see. You know, I'm happy that it's changing in a lot of ways when it comes to like hours. That's one like I was saying earlier, like people like younger cooks and chefs. Chefs also being thrown around a lot these. But these young cooks are like complaining about things. That's what you complain about? That really? I was complaining that I only got 4 hours of sleep, and the chef put 2 new dishes on my station
Right.
that I had never seen before on a Friday night. Like that. You're complaining that I asked you to work. Like, can you take a break later? Type of thing. But at the same time, I'm also very pro. Like, no, people need breaks.
Yeah. The people need breaks. I will say though, the employees in California, they know the law.
Oh yeah,
They will fucking get you, son.
Yes.
They'll be like, I'm supposed to go on break, right? It's been 4 hours. And you're like,
It's for me. That's kind of things like they complain about those little things. I mean, they're not little things. They do need to be there for us. It's good for us to have this break.
but if I ever worked somewhere where all I cared about was like the hours
Yes.
and the breaks,
you're
just
fucking
place.
You're just punching a clock.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, you're
I'm
just
not
punching
down
a
with
clock.
that. I don't think we should have people that work in food that are just punching clocks.
Yeah.
That's what the front of the house is for.
Yeah, and also,
You
I mean, also like I've worked with some. Even right now, I'm working with some great for those people who are not there. They're there for a paycheck. I mean, you know,
As they should be.
yes, but they're passionate
Right.
about stupid little things at the restaurant. It shouldn't matter, but they do matter. You know, and that's important. It's important for the industry. Is like you have people. Also, you do need the clock punchers. They make great dishwashers, bussers.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
You
all
know,
the other positions.
You know, the
Saying if you're gonna touch food though,
touch food.
I want you to at least wanna touch the food.
You want to do
and
it.
not be like, oh fuck.
You know, I mean, we all complain about that last table that came in. But there's always those like we complain every time we're busy. Like
Every time there's a ticket, they're like,
yeah. Oh God. Another ticket. Like yeah.
Like, yeah, we're open. We're a restaurant.
Yeah.
People come in here.
I worked in an Italian restaurant, and this one guy who would work on pasta, he would bitch when he would get slammed. Like, we work at an Italian restaurant, man. You're doing half the meals here.
Yeah.
That's why on Friday nights it's 2 people.
He's on pasta station.
Like, you're on a pasta station at an Italian joint, and you're complaining about making pasta. go on Salad Station then.
Yeah.
But you're gonna hate over there because every person gets a salad or a soup.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like old school like style like American Italian restaurant where you got a soup, a salad, and some bread. Then you chose.
Did the servers warm up the bread?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They cut it too.
Oh
yeah. They would warm. We would only warm the soup for them. We would warm it. They would serve it.
Maybe the servers had more responsibilities. And then as time went on, we were like, we need more.
Looking at it, years I've seen in like finer dining restaurants, the servers front of the house is responsible for like less, while simultaneously demanding more. Because my first fine dining restaurant I ever worked at, servers cut and warmed all the bread. They did bread service, they did the butter service, the soup. They were responsible for making sure they had enough for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we don't want to hear you. I need a space on the fucking stove for soup at like 8 o'clock. Like you need to, they knew how much they needed to where at the end of the night, like they would have like quart left.
Right.
You know, they knew how much they would wrap all the bread at the end of the night in plastic to put it away, make sure it didn't get stale. And they did a lot of table service stuff too,
mm-hmm.
you know, and that we didn't have the auto grad or anything like that. It was just like, they were hoping that the work they did, they got tipped. And then fast forward 20 years and I'm asking someone to wipe down a goddamn table in between, like when like a table starts getting messy, when we had diners eating and there's like crumbs on the table. I'm like, can you crumb the table? Like while they're there? I'm like, yes. Yes, please do that while they're still sitting there. Just be like, here, let me clean up for you.
Right.
No one's going to be upset. And I'm just like, kind of like, damn. It's like, you guys went from prepping all your own shit to being like, I just take.
Right.
And that's, obviously, it's like cooking, not all. There's definitely like a complete like pole change.
Yeah.
In life, like dining. Food, service, all that stuff.
Well, it used to be that you cooked out of necessity, or that was the only thing you were good at.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Now we have a bunch of transplants that are like, I was a graphic designer for 20 years, and then I decided to pursue my passion of being a chef.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like
they've been cooking for 5 years and they call themselves chef.
Exactly. And it's like, all right, we need more. We need you to stay in the graphic designing. Okay.
I've run into like, that's one thing I see in Oakland right now is like all these people have surrounded themselves with yes people.
Yeah.
Since like right around like pandemic created a lot of pandemic chefs. Okay, I don't think that you need to grind like I did. I don't think you need to start as a dishwasher.
No.
And work your way up to chef. I don't think that's the thing. But, chef does translate to chief.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't the chief of no one. Like you cooked out of your house for your friends for like 2 years. And they're like, oh, you should open up a restaurant. And you're like, yes, I should. And then someone gives you money.
Yeah.
And you open up a restaurant. They've surrounded themselves with so many yes people. They've never heard a critique about anything.
Right.
And then they get their first bad review from someone and they cry foul.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand the food. They've been writing longer than you've been a chef. They do understand the food.
Right.
And to the point where I was talking to a former food writer and was like, oh no, I got out because I was so afraid. I was getting afraid to like start writing things because social media becomes so toxic when you're like, food wasn't good.
Right.
So she was just like, bye, not doing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So now she just consults on a bunch of restaurants for like, she goes in as a critic kind of thing, but then she's like, this is how service went for me.
Right.
And
that's the thing, man. We can't be that sensitive. Like, I like a critic villain in a town that's notorious We all know Bauer. Oh my God, Bauer.
Hour.
You know what I mean?
And all these young cooks, like all these new pandemic cooks, they didn't have to deal with that.
No.
They didn't have to deal with, like, he would ruin your career.
Yeah.
Your restaurant. Restaurants lived and died
Right.
by his
Right.
1987 palate and comb over.
No.
You know?
No, I do think that that's a little bit extreme. Like, we can't give all the onus to one guy.
No, God, no.
And that's on the reader, I think.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just gonna read, then he says, "Oh, don't go there," and you're like, "Oh yeah, he's right."
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not gonna go there.
he would rip restaurants apart,
Right.
because his palate was so particular, you know. And everyone who's ever had to deal with him know exactly how you dealt with it, which was you had to have pint glass. No matter what size your water glass was, you had to give him pint glasses full of, like, ice to the top, keep it filled the whole time.
Oh, so he was judging you on shit that you judged restaurants on long ago.
Yeah.
Before there was a drought.
Yeah. Yes. He and this, like, he also had, like, his restaurants that he was personally invested into.
Right.
They would always make the top 100, like a month into opening.
Right.
Like, oh, good. Oh, they made their top 100. Like, who got bumped off?
Right.
Like, you think they're better than them? Okay, cool. I think what the Bay Area has really lacked is, like, a Jonathan Gold, or got her name. She's in Chicago. I think it's Grace something. She always wore hats. Maybe it was New York. I forgot where she was at.
A reviewer? A
Yeah,
critic?
she's a critic, but she was also always known for her hats, because no one knew what she looked like, because she always wore big brim hats to cover her face in all the pictures, or like when she was no one knew what she looked like for years. But she was an honest critic, and she would go to mom and pop shops and fancy restaurants. And if it was, like, really bad for, like, a small restaurant, she would kind of, like, hold back. Like, let's give them a chance. It's like, that's the thing. She'd always be like, they're new. They're just getting their feet wet.
Right.
Let's give them 6 months and go back. And then she'd go back and she'd write another review. Jonathan Gold would review taco trucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think the Bay Area really lacked that in the long way. Anyways, for a long, long time. You know, we've had good writers, but I don't think we've had really great critics.
No, because everyone's afraid to be a critic.
Yeah.
You know, you're afraid that your word can take away someone's business. But again, I think we just need to, as chefs, be like, brush it the fuck off.
Yeah.
I would rather that person that's an actual writer for a publication talk shit about my restaurant than some asshole.
And the fucking Yelpers.
You know what I mean?
You know?
Like, I don't know. To me, I'm like,
it's also like, I think it started becoming less about the food and the service, and started becoming a little too much about the people. Like, I think it should be about the people too.
mm-hmm.
I think it started being, like, a lot less about food and more about, like, the culture of the restaurant.
Right.
Like, which is a good thing to have, but I want to know what their steaks taste like. Like, was the steak cooked properly? How was the techniques on? How are the cocktails? Stuff like that. And it's just like, I think critics have been, like, watered down a lot. And then even recently, I was laughing at it, and also kind of, like, I got, like, irrationally angry about the new critic we have.
Mm-hmm.
From LA.
Right.
Moves to San Francisco. First big article, talks shit about Oakland and gentrification.
Right.
Now, a lot of things he said about the restaurant is subjective and could be true, food-wise and all that. But the article didn't read like that. The article read way more about, like, how he was calling out people for being gentrifiers who have been here for, like, 20 plus years. One of them's born here, the other one's been here for, like, 25.
Mm-hmm.
And he writes this article. I'm like, it's funny that you're talking about gentrification. You're from Los Angeles, moved to San Francisco, and you're talking shit about Oakland. You know what people in Oakland love more than anything? Is people from Los Angeles telling us how we're gentrifying our town. You moved to the richest city on the planet outside of, like, Dubai.
Right.
And you're talking trash about Oakland. Like, that's hilarious. Like, that's just ridiculous. And I'm like, it's cool. So we have this for another 3-4 years, you know, until whatever they moved.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just like, I read that, and it was all about, like, the whole article was just written about, like, even
What publication was that for?
the Chronicle.
The Chronicle.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. I can't remember what because when I read about gentrification of someone I know, and I know all the things they have done for Oakland,
Right.
for the neighborhood, for the community, to call them gentrifiers when there's a restaurant down the street that was charging $500 per person for dinner and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you understand what gentrification actually is.
Right.
And I was like, you're not worth my time to know or even pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting here talking trash about a business owner who's been here for 20 plus years, business partners, wife, born and raised here, and you don't even live in the city. And he just made it about how the food was authentic because he grew up eating that food. Like, that's the only part that was like about food. And you could rip the food apart all you want. Talk about the cocktails, talk about the service. But then when you start talking about gentrification, you're blaming small business gentrification.
Right.
When the target is literally a stone's throw away.
Yeah.
But they're also, you said that, right, whether it's the 17th and Broadway, like, high rise of condos that are outrageously priced. But you want to talk shit on a small business.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's crazy.
And right when I read them, like, and it was like in the title of the article, gentrification was like, yep, cool. So we're stuck with this,
right,
for the next X amount of years.
However many years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I honestly just don't think the Bay Area has ever truly had a really great. We've had great writers.
Right.
Michael Bauer's not one of them. He was a terrible writer. Like, he was a bad critic and he was a terrible writer. Like, his writing was subpar. We've had great writers, but I don't think we've ever had, like, truly good food critics who put the food, the cocktails, like and the culture all in one thing.
Right.
Being important. It's sad because
Yeah.
I think Oakland is a great. I think the Bay Area in general is a great food place. Everyone knows that it's a food destination.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, we're getting to the point of a lot of mediocrity.
Yeah.
With the people surrounding themselves with the yes people. And then there's, like, I go to these places and I'm dropping a lot of money on these new restaurants. Like, this is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather gone to the taco truck.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Do you think that right now, as it stands, do you think that Oakland or San Francisco is better food-wise?
Oakland.
Right.
I think Oakland is better.
Yeah.
I think right now, San Francisco Financial District, they're at like maybe 25% filled, the buildings.
Mm.
There's restaurants closing constantly in San Francisco. I think there's been a few good restaurants open up in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Oakland had way more open up in the past couple of years.
Okay.
Pre-pandemic, during pandemic, and now.
Right.
Because it's cheaper to open.
It's cheaper, yeah.
We have people coming from San Francisco
to open here.
Yeah.
Very true.
I mean, we have people coming from New York, Chicago out here to open up restaurants. You know, because it's the I hate when they always say that, like, Oakland's like the Brooklyn of California. It's like, no. Brooklyn's Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Don't take that from them. Don't call something else them. That's what they are. They should be in it's a beautiful, amazing area with, like, eclectic culture and all that. It does mirror Oakland in a lot of ways.
Right.
But Oakland, don't compare us to someone else like that. Don't take away our history because you want to just compare us to, like, what Brooklyn was like 10 years ago.
Right.
At this point, like 15 years ago. I think Oakland, we're kind of in this weird place of there's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing, and social media has made them stars.
Right.
But they're not really good at what they do. And the food is suffering. Cocktails are suffering a lot. There's also a lot of good restaurants that are opening. A lot of good people who are really dedicated to food and cocktails, like service and all that. It's kind of teetering right now. of how many mediocre spots we have versus how many good spots we have.
Right.
I think eventually, like, it's going to be like pandemic. We're going to see a lot of these new pandemic chefs just because they don't know what they're doing. And people are, they're coming, we're seeing it every quarter, more and more people are coming out to eat.
Right.
It is getting busy. We're having slow months here and there, depending on whatever happens that weekend.
Yeah.
But things are getting better, and we're getting better chefs. We're getting, like, it's getting better. It is, slowly. Hoping it does.
I think if we keep that optimism, it will get better.
Yeah.
I moved here for a reason. Sometimes that reason is not so apparent because of all the shit that's happening around here all the time. But, it's whatever. It's like part of the charm now.
Oh, yeah, Oakland is Oakland.
Yeah.
I think one thing is we all have, like we said way earlier, is like the family tree of cooking, or service. There's a lot of chefs who created what we do service-wise, not just food-wise. Like how we treat a wine menu was really created by, like, Andre Salter. Like how to properly price your wines, how many wines you need in each category for however big you're. Like, he created that decades ago, and people follow it, don't even know it. Don't even know that he did it first, but I think there's family tree of, like, think of also like a house. Cannot have a house without a foundation. And too many new people in the industry, too many new chefs, new bar mixologist who call themselves same thing, mixologists, like 2 years after becoming a fucking bartender. They think the foundation means absolutely.
Right. It's almost like you've built the foundation, you've built the first, second floor, and then on the third floor, we're just like, what if we put fucking rooms over here?
Yes.
Right? It's like, and then everybody's just going to every little corner and just being like, I'm going to build myself another room over here. And then before you know it, it's just like,
it's yes.
It's just
now starts falling apart real quick. And it's also the thing, like, if you don't know that, like, you need to know the foundation. You have to, like, you need to know that. Whether or not you use it, that's one. But knowing it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing where food comes from, how, why.
Yeah. How to properly cook something
how
to properly, sear a fish.
I bet,
sear a piece of meat.
And
cook chicken. Like, all that stuff is important. And I'm watching Great Chefs of the World. It's on.
I haven't started that yet.
It's on Prime. And it's an old school show from like the 70s. But they have them all there. So I'm like, watching it, and Ferran Adria's in it and shit. And I'm like, back in the day, they just cooked the thing.
Yes.
They didn't sit there and say, and now I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, no. They're just like, head down, so much so that they needed a narrator to be like, and now he's doing this.
Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite was when they did, Channel 4 or BBC did Mark Pierre White basically cooking for all the stores.
Oh, yeah.
And at one point, he goes, do you want me to fucking cook or do you want me to talk to you?
Right.
And she goes, understood. When I finish this, we can talk.
Right.
It was just he's like, I'm cooking right now.
Chopping the mushrooms.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's like, I can do this or I can talk.
He told me to chop the mushrooms. I would chop the mushrooms.
Yeah.
You got to check his talk out on in Oxford, the Oxford University.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. YouTube. One of my favorite things that he did also was, talking about, like, the simplicity also, is like, he does in that chefs, he does a lobster and leek terrine.
Is that for Albert Roux?
Yeah. For Albert. And he was like, he loves lobster, he loves leeks. He goes, just making fun of him. And then you see a 20-year-old Gordon Ramsay in the background,
right.
And when he talks, it's like, yeah, it takes 4 whole lobsters and a case of leeks to make this one terrine.
Damn.
Because he's using the greens for stock, so he's only using the whites, and you have to, like, blanch them perfectly so that the right when the onions start getting kind of, like, slimy,
right?
Like, you have to chill them immediately. Don't wash them off because all of that slime helps hold all
Hold it
together.
together, yeah.
'Cause he's not putting anything else in it. It's just
Right.
meats and lobster. He does a lobster jus, some caviar, like some trout roe and chive oil, on a plate that has like these intricately like rings that are like all like gold rim plates
Yeah.
type of thing, like grandma's fancy china that
His dishes always mimic the rim of the plate.
yes, he
The
did that a
design.
lot. He's like, get a lot of inspiration from this.
Yeah.
And nowadays we have just black colors,
Yeah, we do.
which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
We went from that to to nothing.
It's coming back though.
I've been seeing a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Birdie G's.
Yeah, Birdie G's.
Has Birdie G on every plate and has that blue rim. I'm like, I love it because it's like the blue plate special.
Right.
And it's a diner, but it's a very elevated diner.
Right.
I went down there. I was down there 6 months ago. And I had a chance to go and like grab like fun things, like a cup of coffee, quick little meal. It was so simple. It was like chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
With green beans.
So good.
And it was perfectly done.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I think we need to see more of is you don't have to do fancy.
Right.
Your food excellent. Just perfectly coached.
Yeah. And if your food happens to be really highly technical, fine, terrine fucking food,
Yeah.
do that food.
Yeah.
I want you to do that food.
Yes, absolutely.
I need you to do that. Somebody out there.
And
It ain't gonna be me.
I can I have to. I'm at a point I haven't done it in so long, but I look at a recipe like, I'm gonna do that,
Yeah.
and it immediately comes back. It's just like in the Rolodex of
Yeah.
everything I've done and all the experiences. But it's so many young chefs could not make a proper pate. They really couldn't. I meet them all the time. They cut cords. You gotta make a pate.
Right.
Can't just fucking can't fake it.
Right.
Make it properly. It tastes better. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
When you take the time to slow cook something, caramelize your shallots, or cook the shallots so long that the pan doesn't caramelize, but they start to caramelize them, like each individual piece of shallots caramelize because they eat so goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
And the deglaze properly. All these little tiny things. I think a lot of that's lost, and it sucks because thank God we have books and social media and all this, because a lot of those things feel like they're being lost.
Yeah.
Things I grew up eating and cooking in fancy restaurants, fancy, fine dining, like Pate En Croute. Like the only place that does that I think is like Daniel Ball, last person
Yeah. Right.
doing that at Cafe Balud.
There's actually a guy, Canoe McKinley, Chef McKinley out in Canoe, who does a lot of en croute action, and it's really sexy shit.
It's hard.
It's
hard.
It's
such a hard.
He's got, I don't know what dough he's got. He's got a sexy dough.
It's you have to do it perfect so that the meat's perfectly cooked and the bread isn't soggy or burnt and raw.
Yeah,
like it's hard to do. I pulled mine off in school. I'm like, no,
right.
I'm done.
The last one I've ever cooked.
I will leave this to the person who's true focused on it.
Dope.
I'll make head cheese and sausages all day long. That is so much easier.
Yeah. So we can find you at Chef Nell's spot.
Sobre Mesa. Yep.
And then, so in the day-to-day operations, CDC there, are you talking to him about menus all the time, or are you guys sort of just...
Yeah, he's got 900 going on.
Right.
He needs like 4 assistants.
Right.
He's got TV. He's doing TV stuff, but he also has Alomar. So he's chef at Alomar still. So he's a chef. Celebrity. He's also got he does stuff with Sprouts, which is a cooking program for high schoolers.
Oh, okay.
Try and get them into I think they do more than food. They do whatever career thing. But he's actually, I think he hired 2 people. These started there with the program.
Dope.
So he's got that. He's on, the morning shows, and plus he's doing talks and all. He's up in Napa all the time doing things at Copia.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a lot going.
Good.
it's
Now's the time to do it.
but there was a point where I was kind of laughing because we're about a year in, and I don't think he realized that he was no longer just a chef. He was now with two places and being with the Top Chef that now he was a restaurateur.
Right.
I still think that half the time it doesn't really click in his head that he's not just
Right.
chef. He's not just Chef Nelson anymore. No, you are a restaurateur, Chef Nelson.
Right.
Like you are building an empire, and I think it was Richard Blaze who said that. He said that took him to his third restaurant. It was like he's like I'm a chef anymore. I'm a chef. I'm not a chef anymore. Like I'm a restaurateur. I'm opening restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cooking in a kitchen every day. Chef Nelson does cook
right
while doing 900 things simultaneously type of thing.
It's something that never leaves you, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to just not let someone else do it. Sky's the limit type of thing with Sobre and Alomar.
Mm.
In a perfect world, I see a Sobre next to an Alomar in a big city because they're so completely different.
Right.
Where Sobre is a cocktail tapas bar doing Pan-African, Dominican, and sometimes Portuguese. A lot of some Portuguese folks do. And Alomar is so much more like seafood. It's like more seafood heavy and like lots of Chef Nelson eating, and then also like taking a lot of inputs from the South.
Right. Hell yeah.
So it's like two completely different things that also work well together because we send people together all the time. Oh, you have a family. Sorry, we're 21 and up. But Alomar is a family restaurant right down the street. I can get you 4 seats right now.
There you go.
Literally call John, like, John, got 4 people coming over, 2 kids, some parents. Yeah, get them a 4-top. They want to sit outside.
There you go, man.
Done.
Get that business.
Yeah, we're 6 blocks apart, So it's a nice little walk. Get over there.
Hell yeah. Got to get him on the show.
Yeah, I told him, gotta get you on the show next.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Actually, right, you were with Selassie. You did her.
Yeah, we did Selassie. I did Mike Woods too. Mike Woods and Solomon. Mm-hmm. They used to work for him. And yeah, I think those were the only tight knit to him. And then because of Top Chef, like I know a bunch of people that he knows now and all that.
And I actually saw Harold. You had Harold on here.
Yeah.
I saw him yesterday at the cafe opening for Mr. Espresso.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Espresso, is he open now?
Yeah, they I think I don't know if it's like officially open. It is a soft opening, and it's a
dope.
It's real nice. Those goddamn espresso machines are like $25,000 each.
Yeah,
everything, and it looks so tiny too. Everything's it's all copper,
right?
Copper, white, and orange. Like those are the colors of the whole place, and some wood. It's beautiful. It's right upstairs from the bar station,
and he got it open.
Luigi, yeah, it was, I think it was, normal shit opening permit stuff. But the soft opening was Saturday. I think they're officially open. Like either they're not already officially open, they're opening up soon. Yeah, go get a nice cup of coffee.
Hell yeah, I will.
And some great pastries.
Okay.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of coffee pastry spots opening up in Oakland. Folks.
I think it has to do a lot with the businesses like actually coming back. Like people having to come back to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of coffee places shut down like this.
Right.
They all had to come back.
We need them.
Yeah.
We need them. Fuck yeah. Well, this has been a Sucio Talk motherfucking live on Mondays. For you. So you guys check out Chef Ronny the Cook at Ronny the Cook, right?
Ron the Cook.
Ron the Cook.
Yeah.
Or Ronny Miranda on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check them out. And Chef, we're gonna do this again for sure.
Absolutely. We should get you over at Sobre.
Yeah. We'll do a panel. I want to be able to just do this shit fucking once a week after a service. Just sit down. Whoever wants to come up, come.
Yeah.
And hang out. But we'll see. All right. Signing off. Peace. Give us a peace sign at this. There you go.